Today we've got lots of updates. I'm going to talk to you about something really wonderful that MSC is doing. We're going to talk about future cruise deposits, an update on that we've gotten in. Also, when the new Princess Plus and new Princess Premier packages, when all the new amenities that go with those packages are going to be available. And then some just really random updates, including like the cheapest way to get from the Fort Lauderdale airport over to the cruise port. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Now, if you watch the news very much, you have probably heard about the earthquake that affected the southern, it's kind of like southwestern area of Turkey, there on the border with Syria. And then we have just had another earthquake in Turkey. Well, MSC, and you know what, there are lots and lots and lots of charitable organizations that are helping there, but because we talk about cruising here so much, I wanted to let you know that MSC has done a really good job of helping out so far. They have loaded up the MSC Aurelia, if I'm saying that right, A-U-R-E-L-I-A, and they have, it's gone from Naples and it's heading over to help everyone that, to offer as much help as they can over where those earthquakes have taken place. And then once they arrive there, they make it so that it's also a support place so that they've got food to give people. I like that they talk about the cinema and about video games and things for children to do. And you know, one of the things that I've really thought of with those earthquakes is how many orphans there are in little children. So I'm glad that someone is helping there and doing what they can to bring some cheer. So anyway, they have really helped an awful lot and are teaming up with other organizations. MSC has what they call the MSC Foundation, and it says we are a part of a global organization that can set in motion a large-scale operation by involving foundations and associations that we collaborate with all over the world. So they're taking medicine and bedding and food and all of these things, and so it just made me really happy. I've clearly got to get on MSC soon and see what their cruise experience is like, if only because I think that they have a really good corporate kind of I like what they do. Alrighty, the next thing that I want to let you know about is we've got a Let's Go family member, and he is sailing on the Koningsdam right now on that marvelous, I think it's 35-day South Pacific Tahiti sailing. And he was kind enough to send us an update over on our Facebook page, but I think it's worth mentioning. It's one of those things that we all need to think about in case it happens to us. He says, we've been hit by a sickness and they won't say if it's COVID-19 or norovirus. Anyway, he said that when, you know, you think of musicians playing sets, that in the evening they are getting 2 sets instead of 3 sets. He said last night the keyboardist from the Rock Room did a piano solo in the Billboard Lounge and sang. And so it sounds like, from what he said, that some of the entertainers maybe got sick as well, so I'm really sad to hear that, but I appreciate the update on board. It's really hard if you're on a cruise ship and you know that some people got sick. I don't know, what do you do? Do you have to like way out, you know, do we stay in our cabin more? Do we go ahead and go to things? So think about what you would do. I don't think there's a right or a wrong to it. And he, Carrie was really nice and added photos of some of the performers performing over on our Facebook group. So come and join us if you would like to see those. And then in addition, this is some of the random updates. I wanted to tell you Icelandic Air offers really good flights to Europe. If you're looking, I know flights have gotten so expensive lately, so they seem to be a really good option. So I wanted to make sure and remind you all of that. I know that we talked about flights for just a minute on Monday night during our live, and our Let's Go family member Jeffrey, Cruising for One, so look his channel and his blog up. He mentioned Icelandic Air, and so take a look at that if you haven't thought of that airline yet as an affordable way to get to and from Europe. Alrighty, and then also many we talked about a little bit. I had mentioned that for our last couple of Princess cruises we did not receive our after cruise survey, And you know what? You all are wonderful. You responded. So many of you have received those end of cruise surveys. So I'm really happy to hear that, and so glad that Princess is still sending them out. And I always like it when I have the opportunity to give good feedback. I always try to temper what I didn't like with what I did like. So I'm really glad to hear that's an option. Now, we were talking the other day about how it seems that it's been delayed a little bit when the new perks associated with the upgraded Princess Plus package and the Premier package were going to be available. Namely, the unlimited juice bar and those desserts that the fancy desserts that are part of those packages. We've got people reporting that when they were supposed to go into effect on February 20th, that when they were on the ship and asked about them, they let them know that they are still delayed. We've got a Let's Go family member who is on the Enchanted Princess this week, and I really appreciate it. They went and inquired at guest services and said that the Plus package, those upgrades are going to take place on the February 27th sailing, so it sounds like next week. They are still determining where the juice bar and specialty desserts will be located. They think that it will probably be in the buffet marketplace area up there. They also they were reminded, and so I will remind all of you, if you booked the Princess Plus package or the Princess Premier package before that upgrade took place, before that was part of the booking, if you want those additional perks, you have to pay the difference. So it was $50 a day before for the Princess Plus package. Now it's $60 a day. So if you want those specialty desserts, you get 2 a day, or the 2 fitness classes during the course of your cruise. And then the other thing was your medallion shipped for free. If you want those things with the Princess Plus package, you need to upgrade and pay that extra $10 a day. I inquired, sounds like you can do it right when you get on board. I'm sure they're happy to, like any business, to take your money for the services that they offer, or you can do it before you embark. Same with the Premier package. If you want those extra items that they have added to that, and that includes like your reserve seating in the Princess Theater, all of those things, then you have to pay the difference. So there you go. Hopefully, and I'm really excited. So those of you who get to cruise next week, let us know what those new amenities look like. Let us know what the unlimited juice bar includes, where it is. Same with those desserts. What do you think about them? Just everything. We're so excited to hear. We have talked a little bit here and there, not so much recently, about COVID testing. I was very appreciative. Our Let's Go family member sent me an email, and they are traveling on the March 9th, 2023 transatlantic from Fort Lauderdale to Barcelona, and they said that they checked base with Princess and originally had been told that they had to have a PCR test in order to embark on the ship, or I don't know that it had to be PCR, sorry. They had to have a COVID test in order to embark on the ship in Fort Lauderdale, as part of what was being required. But then he said they just got an email last night, and so they sent me this today, Wednesday, February 22nd, and it just came into them last night. It says, "We are pleased to share that our COVID-19 protocols for your voyage have been amended. As a result, there are no longer any COVID-19 vaccination or pre-cruise testing requirements for guests on this voyage." So just thought it would be really useful for any of you that happen to be on that voyage and weren't aware yet, that you don't have to worry about any pre-embarkation COVID testing. And I think it really probably, to me, it sets the course a little bit of maybe what we're going to expect. Hearing about all of these longer voyages on Princess right now, it sounds like COVID testing is not going to be a thing. I would love to hear from any of you who have any of these longer voyages booked, and let us know what's being required. I keep getting a lot of emails from people asking what the vaccination and COVID testing requirements are for Alaska this year. So that made me look. I know that for Princess there is no vaccination requirement and there is no pre-embarkation COVID testing requirement. I double checked Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Carnival and Norwegian. I checked all of the big lines that will be up there. I did not check the smaller luxury lines, but your regular cruise lines that we're used to talking about most of the time, none of them require any vaccination, and none of them require any COVID testing to go to Alaska this year. So that simplifies things a lot for a lot of people. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention. So how many of you, when you sail, do the future cruise deposit on Princess? All of the cruise lines have their own version of that. With Princess, the way they do it is you can buy the future cruise deposits, and you can buy several if you want. And what you do is you buy one, and it's $100. And then if you don't use it in 2 years, they credit your credit card back, the $100. But if you do use it, then when you apply it as a deposit towards a future booking, they'll give you some extra onboard credit based on how long the cruise is that you're booking and which category of cabin you book, whether it's an interior, a balcony, mini suite, and a suite. So one of you mentioned, though, it says, while on a ship, the form now shows that you only get a $15 future cruise credit for an interior cabin. So can any of you who happen to be on a ship or who have recently been on the ship and have seen that form, can you comment and see, have they changed that? It used to be $25 for an interior cabin, and it sounds like maybe it's going to $15 now. When you think of your $100 and you think that maybe within a year you're going to book another cruise, that's a 15% return on your money, which I think is pretty good these days. Before it was 25%. 15 is still respectable, the heavens, but at the same time we need to keep up to date with what's going on. So if any of you happen to see this and you're on board a ship, would you go take a picture of that? Or, you know, you can also do it in your app, but I tried looking up on Googling it and trying looking on the Princess website, and everything that I can find, it still says $25 for an interior, but I don't know if that's old and this is new. So let us know what's going on with the future cruise deposits if you want to. And one thing I really do like is it's a no risk thing. Either you use it and you get extra onboard credit, or you don't use it and you get your money back. Alrighty, finally, we have a Let's Go family member, and I remember telling you this like maybe a year ago. It's been a while, but when you fly into Miami or you fly into Fort Lauderdale, both of those airports are really reasonably close to both the cruise port there in Fort Lauderdale. When you think of Miami Airport, that is still remarkably close. Lately, like, we went to Fort Lauderdale maybe like 3 times during November and December, which is unusual for us, but it was much cheaper for us to fly into Miami, fly out of Fort Lauderdale. So we took an Uber from Miami to get over to the port at Fort Lauderdale. So our Let's Go family member said that they take the Tri-Rail from Fort Lauderdale Airport to Miami Airport for $3.75 a person, and that then there is also a free shuttle from the Fort Lauderdale Airport to get you to that train station. And then you can also get from Fort Lauderdale Airport over to the port there very inexpensively. When the latest best price that I have heard is $10 for a taxi to hop over there. And so if you're going between airports, Miami or Fort Lauderdale, you can take the train for $3.75. And then if you're like at that Fort Lauderdale airport, it is super simple to get over to the cruise port. I hope that that is handy for some of you who will be cruising there soon, and especially if you're in the same situation that we're in. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, will you please subscribe? We really need you here with us, and I think you'll love being part of the Let's Go family. If you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? And I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.